Today's discussion is about something most people never think about until it becomes difficult: standing up from a chair. This simple movement may seem ordinary, but in medicine, it is one of the strongest indicators of how well the body is aging. After the age of 75, the ability to rise from a chair without using the hands reflects the true condition of the legs, the balance system, and even the brain's connection to the muscles. When this movement becomes hard, it is not just inconvenience, it is a signal. It tells us that muscle strength is declining, nerves are slowing, and stability is weakening. These changes increase the risk of falls, fractures, and loss of independence. Many people assume this is just part of getting older, but that assumption is one of the most dangerous mistakes. The body is designed to respond to the way it is used. When muscles are challenged in the right way, they adapt and become stronger, even in the late 70s and beyond. What matters is not how fast you move or how heavy you lift, but whether the correct muscles are being activated consistently and safely. This is where the chair test becomes powerful. It does not judge age. It reveals whether the legs are still capable of supporting the body. And more importantly, it shows us exactly what needs to be trained. The 3 Japanese-inspired movements you are about to learn are designed to rebuild the strength, balance, and coordination needed for safe movement. They are gentle, controlled, and highly effective for older adults. Practiced regularly, they can restore the ability to stand, walk, and move with confidence again. The chair test is far more than a simple way to stand up from a seat. For people over the age of 75, it is one of the clearest reflections of what is happening inside the body. When someone cannot rise from a chair without using their hands, it signals weakening muscles, slowing nerve responses, and reduced joint stability. These changes may feel small at first, but they quietly predict much larger outcomes. Difficulty standing up is strongly linked to a higher risk of falls, loss of independence, hospitalization, and even shortened life expectancy. This is why medical professionals often observe how a person rises from a chair before looking at any test result or scan. The act of standing requires coordination between the brain, nerves, muscles, hips, knees, and ankles. If even one part of that system weakens, the entire movement becomes harder. Over time, people adapt by pushing with their arms or avoiding standing altogether, which leads to even faster muscle loss. This creates a cycle where weakness feeds more weakness. What makes the chair test so powerful is that it reveals this process early, when it can still be reversed. Passing the chair test means the legs are generating enough force to lift the body, core is stable enough to keep balance, and the nervous system is still sending strong signals. Failing, it does not mean decline is inevitable, but it does mean action is needed. When targeted movements are introduced that strengthen the thighs, hips, and stabilizing muscles, the body can regain lost power. Even in the late 70s and beyond, muscles remain capable of rebuilding. The chair test does not measure age, it measures readiness. That readiness can be restored through the right kind of daily movement. In many regions of Japan, it is common to see people in their late 70s, 80s, and even 90s walking confidently, climbing steps, and rising from low seating without assistance. This is not because they are born stronger, but because their daily habits protect their muscles, joints, and balance systems. From an early age, Japanese culture encourages sitting on the floor, standing frequently, walking often, and using the body in gentle but continuous ways. These movements keep the leg muscles and hip joints active, which prevents the slow shutdown that happens when the body is not challenged. Another key reason: Japanese elders remain stronger as the way they move. Instead of fast, forceful workouts that strain joints, they practice slow, controlled movements that activate deep muscle fibers. These fibers are responsible for posture, stability, and balance, and they are the first to weaken with age if they are not used. By keeping these muscles engaged every day, the body maintains its natural ability to stabilize itself, even when balance is challenged. There is also a strong focus on breathing and posture. When posture is upright and breathing is steady, the nervous system sends clearer signals to the muscles. This improves coordination and reaction time, which are essential for preventing falls. Many Japanese movement practices are designed to link the mind and body so that each step, bend and rise, is intentional and controlled. Because these habits are repeated daily, they protect mobility in a way that no single exercise program can. Strength is preserved not through intensity, but through consistency. The result is a body that remains responsive, balanced, and capable of supporting itself well into advanced age. The seated power rise is one of the most effective movements for rebuilding leg strength after the age of 75 because it directly trains the muscles that are needed for real-life mobility. Sitting down and standing up may seem simple, but this action requires strong thighs, active hips, a stable core, and clear communication between the brain and the muscles. When this movement becomes difficult, daily life begins to shrink. Climbing stairs, getting out of a car, or standing up from the toilet all become challenging, which increases the risk of falls and dependence on others. By practicing slow and controlled rises from a seated position, the body is forced to use the correct muscles rather than relying on momentum or the arms. The quadriceps in the front of the thighs and the glute muscles in the hips are activated deeply when the rise is done without pushing off. These are the same muscles that weaken most rapidly with age, yet they are also the most responsive to retraining. When they are stimulated regularly, they begin to regain size, strength, and endurance. The slow speed of the movement is what makes it powerful. Rising slowly forces the nervous system to stay engaged, improving coordination and balance. It also protects the joints by reducing impact while still providing a strong muscular challenge. Over time, this trains the body to feel stable and confident during standing movements. This exercise also improves posture, because the core muscles must work to keep the spine upright during the rise. Better posture means better balance and reduced strain on the knees and lower back. When practiced daily, this simple movement becomes a foundation for safer walking, stronger legs, and greater independence in everyday life. The knee lift balance movement plays a powerful role in protecting mobility after the age of 75 because it targets one of the most overlooked systems in the body, which is balance control. Many people believe balance is only about the feet, but in reality it begins in the hips and travels through the nervous system to the brain. When one knee is lifted and held in place, the standing leg must activate dozens of small stabilizing muscles in the ankle, knee, and hip to keep the body upright. At the same time, the brain must constantly adjust posture to prevent tipping, which keeps neural pathways active and sharp as people age. These stabilizing muscles weaken and the brain receives fewer balance signals, making even small shifts in weight feel dangerous. This is why a simple misstep can lead to a serious fall. The knee lift balance reverses this process by forcing the body to relearn how to stay steady on one leg. Holding onto a chair for support allows the movement to be done safely while still challenging the balance system. Lifting the knee also strengthens the hip flexors, which are essential for walking, stepping over obstacles, and climbing stairs. When these muscles weaken, the feet begin to shuffle instead of lift, increasing the risk of tripping. Practicing this movement regularly helps restore a natural walking pattern with higher, more controlled steps. Because the movement is slow and controlled, it improves coordination between muscles and nerves. Over time, the body reacts more quickly and confidently to changes in position. This creates a feeling of stability that carries into everyday activities, making walking, turning, and standing far safer and more comfortable for aging adults. The heeled two-toe stability walk is a highly effective way to strengthen the lower legs and retrain the body's ability to stay upright while moving. As people age, the ankles and feet become less responsive, which makes balance more fragile and increases the likelihood of slipping or falling. This movement places the feet in a narrow line. It's forcing the body to rely on the small, stabilizing muscles in the ankles, calves, and arches. These muscles are responsible for making tiny adjustments that keep the body balanced when the ground is uneven or when weight shifts suddenly. Walking heel to toe also sharpens the communication between the feet and the brain. Each step sends sensory information upward, telling the nervous system exactly where the body is in space. When this feedback is clear and strong, the brain can make faster corrections, preventing loss of balance before it becomes a fall. With regular practice, this pathway becomes more efficient, which improves reaction time and stability. This movement also improves posture because the body must stay upright and centered to avoid wobbling. When posture is aligned, weight is distributed evenly across the legs, reducing strain on the knees and hips. This allows walking to feel smoother and more controlled. The slow, deliberate pace of the heel-to-toe walk makes it especially valuable for older adults. It creates strength without joint stress and builds confidence with every step. Over time, walking becomes steadier, turning becomes safer, and the fear of losing balance begins to fade, allowing greater freedom and independence in daily movement. The true secret to staying independent after the age of 75 is not hidden in medication, supplements, or complicated equipment, but in the way the body is used each day. Muscles are designed to respond to movement, and even in advanced age, they retain the ability to grow stronger when they are given the right kind of challenge. What causes decline is not simply getting older, but allowing the body to become inactive, which sends a message to the muscles and nervous system that they are no longer needed. When that message is repeated often enough, strength and balance begin to fade. Simple, controlled movements, such as rising from a chair, lifting a knee, and walking heel to toe, send the opposite message. They tell the brain that the body must stay alert, coordinated, and capable. These signals keep nerves firing, joints lubricated, and muscles engaged. Over time, this creates a powerful ripple effect. Standing becomes easier, walking becomes steadier, and daily tasks require less effort. Consistency is what transforms these movements into lasting results. A few minutes every day does more for the aging body than occasional intense effort. The goal is not to exhaust the muscles, but to wake them up and keep them working. This approach protects the joints while still building real strength where it matters most. Independence is not about never needing help, but about being able to move with confidence and control. When the legs are strong and the balance system is active, the body becomes more reliable. This reduces the fear of falling, encourages more movement, and supports a higher quality of life. Well into later years, what you have just learned is not about complicated fitness or extreme effort. It is about restoring the natural strength your body was designed to have. The chair test shows us a truth many people never realize until it is too late. That leg strength and balance determine whether a person stays independent or slowly loses freedom. The good news is that this process is not permanent. With the right movements, the body can change at any age. These 3 Japanese-inspired exercises were chosen for one reason. They train the exact muscles, nerves, and balance systems that allow you to stand, walk, and move safely. When practiced regularly, they do more than build strength. They rebuild confidence. Every time you rise from a chair without help, lift your knee without wobbling, or walk steadily without fear, you're telling your body that it is still capable. Falls are not just accidents. They are often the result of weak legs, slow reactions, and poor balance. By strengthening these systems now, you are protecting your future. You are giving yourself the chance to stay active, mobile, and in control of your daily life. This is not about pushing your limits. It is about moving with intention and consistency. Even a few minutes a day can change how your body feels and responds. The path to stronger legs and better balance does not require youth. It requires commitment. Let this be the moment you decide to invest in your mobility, because the ability to stand, walk, and live freely is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself at any age.